your tracks. Iredell Health System will be by your side. Learn more at iredellhealth.org.
Hi, this is Joshua Dobie. Join me Thursdays at 4 p.m. for Dollars and Cents, a show that focuses on your personal financial journey and the markets around us. That's Dollars and Cents, Thursday afternoons at 4 here on WSIC.
The following is a paid program and does not necessarily reflect the views of WSIC.
I need some real talk. Oh, I need some real talk. Give me some of that real talk.
Today's Real Talk, the show focused on North Carolina real estate. Justin Kazepis, Claudia Ogrizik of Compass Real Estate. Came back for more, eh?
Of course, every Monday. I'm ready.
Back at it.
Yes.
Monday afternoon, that means a week of the market since we last spoke.
Yes.
Are you still in it to win it, Claudia?
Well, I think based on my previous week, it's more. It's way more.
Oh, you think it's more?
I had, yes.
Of course, referring to more or less the segment where we look at the market, active data, Canopy MLS, the local MLS, 500,000 or less active coming soon by county, always starting with Mecklenburg County.
Yes.
You think it's more units this week than last week?
Yes, I do.
What was last week's number?
1475.
Okay, by 1479, you mean 1,475. So 1,475 active and coming soon units in a county that is a 1.1 million population.
Yes, and I want to break the 1,500 mark, and hopefully it's going to be today.
Okay, we'll see. We'll find out later on.
I need more houses for my buyers, so.
More?
I need more houses so my buyers can buy the
houses. Oh,
houses.
because you have more buyers than there are
buyers.
houses.
Yes, yes.
Do you have more than 1,400 clients, would you say, right now, give or take?
Yes,
yeah,
every day.
Probably.
Yes.
And how does it feel right now for buyers? Any change in the past week? Because I think it was more last week, right? So we got more units on the market even last week.
I thought it was less, and it was
Did
more.
that change the feel out there in the marketplace, the 2 extra units we got on the market, or what?
I hate to sound repetitive, but it's what I see. Even though people are saying, oh, the market is shifting, I see multiple offers happening, higher due diligence fee to try to get a house under contract. So it's still tough for buyers, even with the high interest rates and everything. If you price the house well, it will sell quickly and very likely for more.
And that's because there is significant demand in the marketplace right now.
Exactly. Too many people moving. I mean, not too many, keep coming, but a lot of people moving, and we don't have enough houses for everyone moving our way.
But the question is then, okay, are the sellers still doing the happy dance on every transaction? Are they getting their way 100%?
My sellers?
Well, in
My
general, sellers in general. You know, you're
my
seeing,
sellers.
Okay,
yes.
Okay.
But yes, again, if the seller gets, if the seller hires a great realtor and listen to their agent, they will do the happy dance at the end. I just got a new listing as I was getting ready to come here.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew the address, so I did the CMA to see how much the house should sell for. And I noticed, very interesting and a good example of the whole market. So basically, it's a condo by UNCC. And I saw that all the ones sold in the past 6 months sold at the right price, the average price, that started at the right price or a little below ended up selling in 1 or 2 days for more. And the ones that were overpriced, most of them by a limited service, meaning it's a seller that hires a cheap, I don't call them a realtor, a firm that will list on MLS, started for more, sitting on the market for up to 3 months, sold for way less than the average price. So the right agent matters.
You mentioned by UNCC, the university area, the Charlotte side or the Concord side?
The Charlotte side.
The Charlotte side of things over there. Which locations got you piqued your interest in the past week? You've been Belmont for a few weeks in a row. What else you got going
Belmont.
on? Harrisburg, you like Rowan?
Salisbury yesterday. A few days ago, I posted a bunch of stuff in Salisbury trying to lure my investor clients to follow what I'm saying and buy in Salisbury.
And then how's that? How's it tracking with Salisbury? You've been looking at Salisbury for a while. You like Salisbury?
I love Salisbury.
Enough that you're going to recommend it to every investor? Would you think it's
yes? Because yes. And it's Belmont. I still love it, but it's expensive now. Salisbury is very affordable, so it's a perfect place for a new investor, like your first investment house. I shouldn't be saying that because then I'm going to have competition, but buy sounds very.
I'm surprised you're telling anybody.
I know.
Right now.
I'm kidding. Don't go there. Let me do it.
Well, we'll talk investments today. We got Robert Keller here hanging out with us. We're looking forward to having some. Oh, of course, it's not financial advice. We have to say that.
No.
Every financial person comes here. We have to tell them it's all the same. It's not financial advice.
Yes, he's here just to be with us. He's not going to do anything. He's not going to say anything. No, but you can't say.
Just hold up signs.
Some
That's
things.
It. Yeah.
I can say
like
so.
a little
We'll
unofficial.
some planning, some markets.
Unofficial.
We'll talk through some planning, some markets,
Okay.
things of that nature.
We understand you can't say much, but you can say enough to maybe inspire people to take care of
some
their
solid foundational advice.
That's perfect.
for sure.
Okay. Yeah.
Looking forward to that. Also, you have to inspire people to take care of their house.
Yes.
Maintenance Monday.
Mhm.
You got a good one for us today?
I do.
Okay.
I always do.
Okay.
I actually, please listen to what I'm saying because every buyer I have and every listing, no, not every listing because usually I ask my clients to get the house ready, but every buyer, when they have the inspection, things I mention all the time are there. And I always say if they listen to my show and if they listen to my advice, that inspection report would look way better. Easy maintenance, anyone can do. It doesn't take much time, more money, and much money or skill. Easy things that any owner can do.
Okay, maintenance always and forever. Are you still pushing for pre-inspections with your sales? Are you advising them to get the pre-inspection, find out what's on it before you go to market?
I'm not going to lie. I do say it. Most people don't want to spend the money because they know buyers how to do it. So, many of the sellers say, why would I spend the money if this is their due diligence? But I do ask my clients to prep the house. So I have a list of like 15 items that I share with my clients. I say, hey, take 2 hours on a week and do this. This is all easy. And the house is way better for when the inspector actually comes. Easy things.
What's your reaction when a seller doesn't listen to you? How does that normally go for you?
I eat tons of chocolate at home until I calm down.
What else has you excited in the marketplace? Do you have any good, thoughtful stories of the week? You usually come in here with something that's all, I care about my clients more than most. And so it's just such a lovey-dovey scene.
Well, the listing I just got, can I say about the listing it wasn't the weekend, it was Monday.
This is America. You can do whatever you want.
I know. And I just got a listing because the client heard about me and how I treat people and how ethical I am. She, unfortunately, I hate to hear that, but she had a horrible experience with her previous realtor. And so she's like, look, it was very disappointing to buy that house. Now I'm ready to sell. I heard amazing things of like how hard you work and how ethical you are, how correct you are. And pretty cool.
So sweet.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so a few of those probably throughout the day. This afternoon.
Yes.
With this. That'll be good.
Hope so.
Okay, so what does investing in real estate have to do with wealth management, planning, looking to the future? What does any of this have to do with that? I just don't understand the connection.
Well, let's see what you have to say later. But for me, there's no better, and I know you might get upset, but for me, there's no better for long term than real estate.
That's the asset you like.
That's the one I prefer.
Shocker.
Yes. I know, right? You would never tell. But yes. But I'm here and I'm willing to listen to an expert and see that maybe I'm wrong. I'm not, but let's see.
Let's see how well you're listening to the market because more or less you say more this week than last. 500,000 or less active coming soon in the MLS by county. She says more this week
than 1,500.
Okay. We'll find more. Do you want to put the number on it,
I want to put a number, more than 1,500.
I am bold. Can you say something in Portuguese real quick before we go to break?
Eu acho que as meninas do Brasil da ginástica olímpica vão ganhar ouro.
Absolutely. What she said. That's exactly right. Don't ask me. I don't know. Robert Keller might know, though. He's up next, and we're going to be talking.
No clue.
Okay. All right. I thought maybe that he would have known. Somebody's
got to know.
It's about the Olympics.
I said something about the Olympics.
It was beautiful.
Stay with us. Today's Real Talk with Claudia Ogrizik and Justin Kazepis will be back after these messages on 105.9, 100.7 WSIC.
Well, here comes a new week, and here come the chances for rain making their way back into the Lake Norman area, too. We'll see a mostly cloudy sky. Carry the rain gear with you for your Monday. On and off rain throughout the day. Some of it could be heavy, and we'll keep an eye out for some localized flash flooding once again. High temperatures in the low 80s. We'll drop back down into the low 70s overnight with a mostly cloudy sky, and we'll run that chance for scattered showers and storms each afternoon this week. That's your forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
The WSIC app is available now wherever you get your apps, featuring local deals from great local businesses like Greystone Lodge in Boone.
Here's your WSIC community calendar. Birkdale Village in Huntersville welcomes back Dave Scott Crow and his Amusination Academy performance on Thursday, August 1st. Dave's concert and Pick Me Up open mic are events for the kids and the entire family. The show begins at 4:30 p.m. on the green. Parents, grandparents, and kids of all ages are welcome on Thursday afternoon at Birkdale Village for Dave Scott Crow's Amusination Academy. Langtree Live in Mooresville continues their free concert series on Thursday, August 1st. Langtree Lake Norman is open for eats and drinks all afternoon, with Bad Romeo taking the stage at 7 p.m. From AC/DC to Whitesnake, Bad Romeo will bring back your 80s rock memories. Grab your lawn chairs, arrive early to get your favorite spot, and enjoy Langtree before, during, and after the show. We'll see you in Mooresville Thursday night for the Bad Romeo concert at Langtree Lake Norman. Friday night, Birkdale Village hosts Live Under the Oaks in Huntersville. String Theory presents a free concert from 6 to 8. Birkdale restaurants are open for dinner, while Red Rocks will serve beverages on site at the concert. Come on out Friday night for the String Theory concert at Birkdale Village. The Cookout Monster Truck Bash is at the dirt track at Charlotte Motor Speedway on Saturday, August 17th. Sparks will fly as the metal-bashing 2,000 horsepower machines return for a night of high-flying action on the planet's most diabolical outdoor course. Gates open at 4 p.m. Bring a Cookout Cup for free early access to the pit party beginning at 3:30. Pit party includes monster truck rides, inflatable slides, bounce houses, face painting, an autograph session, and souvenirs. Opening ceremonies will begin at 7. Visit charlottemotorspeedway.com or the CMS app for information and details. To keep up with all the events happening around the community and much more, including amazing local deals, download the WSIC News app today.
Now, more of today's Real Talk with Claudia Ogrizik and Justin Kazepis on 105.9, 100.7 WSIC. Local starts here.
Today's Real Talk, the show focused on North Carolina real estate. Justin Kazepis, Claudia Ogrizik. I don't know if this is the first time I've noticed it. Even your phone case is green. Have I not seen that before?
You should have, and the phone.
Oh, wow. Even the phone itself. I didn't even know they made a green iPhone.
They did it just for me.
Okay, wow.
Yeah, everything's green.
Claudia Ogrizik with Compass Real Estate. Green only is the rule around here, clearly.
It is. Yeah.
Is that the number one color that you advise for your clients on their walls, too, is green in? Grayish is out, right? Like this room is completely outdated, not trending at all right now.
I actually love a good, if you know the green, I think it looks perfect. But I am more of a very neutral wall, and then you go crazy with decor. Because you don't want to spend $5,000, $10,000, $15,000 repainting the wall, and it's easy, like a cushion or whatever. It's easy to,
So neutrals in. Robert Keller, in the financial side, we can just say that this is not financial advice. Is neutral investing a thing? Is that like neutral colors? Is that similar?
No, I don't think it's a thing.
Okay, there's nothing like that.
Everything has a preference or a tilt to it.
Thank you for joining us today.
Yeah, absolutely.
A lot of financial people have these fancy letters after their name. Can you give us your rundown, kind of what are you able to do, not able to do?
Yes, I'm Robert Keller, and I'm a partner in the Utes Keller Wealth Management practice. We're basically about a $1.1 billion asset team, clients in 44 states, practice of 9 people. We clear through Merrill Lynch, and everything that we do is really predicated on comprehensive financial planning. In layman's terms, looking at where you are versus where you're trying to get to and putting some structure in place. Some of my credentials, I'm a certified financial planner. I am a certified plan fiduciary advisor, a sports and entertainment accredited wealth management advisor, a senior retirement benefits consultant.
Speaking of Olympics, right? So
and about 10 other acronyms that would take up too much time before we have to go to break.
A team of 9. So in a community we're in of boutique and all that, where does that stand as far as like that team, that caliber of a team here?
So with our team, we just recently made the Forbes list as one of the top wealth management, practices in the state and are getting nationally recognized. So with managing, over $1 billion, that puts you in rarefied air in terms of assets under management. So in order to deliver exceptional service and provide that boutique feel, utilizing Merrill and Bank of America's infrastructure and platform, which you're talking about the largest investment company and the second largest bank in in the country.
Sure, I've heard of them before.
So yeah, right, exactly. So
Bank
tons
of
of resources,
America. It
tons
sounds
of
familiar.
tools that are available to us, but to deliver that exceptional white glove service, it takes a team of people to execute that flawlessly. Because with our practice, it basically centers around comprehensive financial planning. That's the roadmap. And since negative things in the world happen on a continual basis, whether they're recessions or Russia, Ukraine, or inflation at a 40-year high, or
Sure.
a death in the family that's untimely, financial planning is paramount and becomes a controllable. So our process starts with that regimented, comprehensive financial planning that basically stress tests your financial situation for all the negativity that exists in the world and that will continue to exist.
Can I ask like a civilian question? So
Yeah, sure.
when I come to you,
Yeah.
I say, I have X amount of money.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what to do with it. Would you ask me, do you want to be conservative
So that's
or crazy? And then you
So that's a
go-
great question. So understanding financial behaviors or behavioral finance is very important, especially in the instant information, instant gratification age that we live in. You have, TikTok, for example, that's telling you how to flip houses and be real estate, which probably drives you bananas as well. So what I do is I don't go into any meeting. Each meeting's a blank canvas, right? And I'm going to start with family dynamics, how you think about the world, what makes you tick, what your fears are, what your aspirations are, what your goals are. And that's part of the foundation of financial planning. And then I'm going to put you through a litany of different questions that addresses everything from, income, tax efficiency, diversification, estate planning, philanthropy, legacy planning, all of those different types of things. Because wealth management is not so much black and white. There's a bit of art to it, right? You got to think that estate laws change, tax laws change, real estate laws change, people's dynamics change. So your financial plan needs to be very proactive in terms of forecasting out, outcomes, but it needs to be nimble enough and nuanced enough to evolve and change as your life changes.
Okay.
So it starts with that initial meeting of basically understanding the nuts and bolts from a finance perspective, but also what your goals are and what makes you tick. From there, meeting two, it's presenting the rough draft of the financial plan. Always, view it that way or phrase it that way to make sure that I captured all the information correctly. The financial plan dictates how we recommend investments, both in the public market space, stocks and bonds, also in the private market space, things like private real estate, private credit,
right?
private equity.
I was going to say, what does
hedge
real estate have to
funds,
do with planning, financial
types of
planning? It
things.
must have nothing to do with it.
Yeah, exactly, right? It's definitely a component, right? Real estate, especially, in a place like Lake Norman in the last, 3 or 4 years, continues to,
Oh, yeah.
outpace, growth, which is fantastic.
See, and you're probably, if I had to guess, in multiple markets right across the country,
Yep.
maybe even some international markets. For real estate in particular, do you truly see it as a unique space here locally as compared to other places, or at least the vast majority of markets, we'll say?
You get that question quite a bit. So if you look at Charlotte as, as a geographic location, fourth fastest growing city in the country, right? You're close to the mountains. You can get to the coast pretty quickly. The largest man-made lake in North America. Highly attractive, right? So places like Denver, Sherrills Ford, Mooresville, Cornelius, Huntersville, for that matter, Davidson, it seems to be a little bit of, a unique market in terms of the affluency, one, of the people that live here. Two, all of those attributes, and not to mention the seventh, busiest airport in the world, which I did not know until a couple of months ago. I read that and I was shocked. I was like, really, Charlotte?
Wow.
So I think you have a perfect storm of keeping real estate prices elevated in this particular area, not to mention the supply problem of people not wanting to roll out of their sub 4% mortgage into a 7% mortgage, right? So it's a perfect storm to keep real estate prices elevated in this particular area. Now, I don't think that translates to every geographic region, right? We don't talk in absolutes. It's not one way completely across the country,
Right.
But I think in certain markets, it certainly creates a perfect storm to keep real estate prices elevated. And that will probably continue until rates start to come down and people get off the sticker shock.
Can I say something? You're hired. Please come every week and say that. Thank you for coming. But yes, we talk about it many times. And when people ask me, clients want to know, is it worth it? I always say, I'm talking about our area. Charlotte is extremely attractive for so many reasons. The banking industry, the IT industry, the airport. Can I
Atrium
say the
Healthcare,
same
look at the
thing?
new big old
Atrium, they
hospital
don't.
coming
Yeah,
up
they
right
don't.
now, right? That's
Actually,
a-
I think medicine hospital is also becoming a huge thing here. But I'm like, don't ask me about Detroit or Florida, because it's not the same market. Do I think it's a great idea to buy now? And I'm not joking or anything. I do, because I do see Charlotte keep. It might stop 5 years from now. It might stop 10 years from now. But right now, it's still growing at a great pace.
I have a question, and this not being financial advice, I don't ever give legal advice. I just make stuff up here.
I love it.
Brazil, right?
Yes.
Because she can speak Portuguese. She's from Brazil. Claudia's from Brazil. And in the international game and the dollar and the value of it and all that, and in the world we're in right now, what's that like for you? And
so that's a great question, because also, again, the struggle or the irritating part from being in a financial position, whether it's real estate or financial planning or investments, is you can always find an opinion to substantiate the way that you're feeling, right? If you start Googling certain things, all of a sudden the algorithms are going to send you nothing but what you're searching. And then you're right.
Mine. Yeah.
The dollar's going away next year. The reality is the United States is still the dominant economy. It is the dominant currency, all right? We get the crypto, question quite a bit. Crypto, I think, is a valid technology, but what happens when the federal government comes out with their own coin? The rest of them go to zero, right? So I think the dollar's not going away. You're always going to have price fluctuation within currencies, and that affects, international trade and the earnings of corporations, both domestically and internationally. But, I think the dollar's king for quite a while.
I like that. I mean, that makes me feel better.
I know, and I agree with you, and I tell people the same way. I think, can it change one day? Maybe.
Certainly.
And I compare it to the English language. It's the same thing. Maybe one day Mandarin will be the biggest one. Who knows? But right now, if you're not American, of course, and you're going to learn a language, learn English, period. Yeah. If you're going to invest abroad, if you're not American, the dollar is the thing. And if you are American, buy real estate with me, and then let him manage your wealth.
So advising people based on, risk profiles, life situations, social psychology, all of these things that play into world factors, everything else like that. Real estate these days, does it still play a prominent role in the equation for the most part that you find?
100%. Absolutely. Most wealthy or high affluent individuals that we deal with have a real estate portfolio, whether that's, a portfolio of individual multifamily rentals, that generate cash flow and, also appreciate with time, or whether it's private real estate investment trusts, where if you don't have, $100,000 for a down payment, but you want diversified real estate and tax efficient income, you can get it at via real estate investment trust, and that's part of my job, because most people are going to think about real estate in terms of a multifamily, right? Condos, those types of things for cash flow. But I mean, infrastructure, you look at social infrastructure, solar, wind, gas, all of those things are outdated in the United States and need some, some dollars put into those type of things, or things like that. I mean, real estate, infrastructure, multifamily.
Real estate goes beyond just having the deed to a property.
100%.
You're able to invest equity, capital, all different kinds of ways.
Student housing.
There you go. Very specific markets.
100%.
Yeah.
Data centers, all of these things that support artificial intelligence backdrop. You can get all of those different types of things via real estate.
Is that part of figuring out what truly is a benefit for the client? Because I imagine that's probably a big part. Like, hey, you enjoy the equation part where that's their end goal. Let's get them there. I would imagine a lot of it is. You enjoy that part of it?
Oh, 100%. That's the creativity, because most people that you talk to that are not financial professionals are very versed in investing from a public market standpoint. Stocks, bonds, ETFs, mutual funds, marketable securities. There's a whole different subset of investing called private markets. Things like private equity, private credit, hedge funds, and private real estate. They all play a part.
All right, Robert Keller, Merrill Lynch. We're hanging out, having a good time here.
There's more of today's Real Talk with Claudia Ogrizik and Justin Kazepis on the way from 105.9, 100.7 WSIC.
Well, here comes a new week, and here come the chances for rain making their way back into the Lake Norman area, too. We'll see a mostly cloudy sky. Carry the rain gear with you for your Monday. On and off rain throughout the day. Some of it could be heavy, and we'll keep an eye out for some localized flash flooding once again. High temperatures in the low 80s. We'll drop back down into the low 70s overnight with a mostly cloudy sky. And We'll run that chance for scattered showers and storms each afternoon this week. That's your forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
Sometimes I struggle to get to sleep. My body stopped for the day, but my mind is still running. So I take ZQuil.
ZQuil, the world's #1 sleep aid brand, has a range of non-habit-forming products to fit you and your family's needs. Invest in a great night's sleep for the best you tomorrow.
I'm awake and ready to take on anything.
Better days start with ZQuil nights. Explore our products at ZQuil.com. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Our daughter Jessie loves playing detective.
But since we discovered she has sensitive skin, we've been playing detective too.
We thought the problem was our puppy.
But it was actually our old detergent. So we switched to Tide Free and Gentle.
Tide Free and Gentle has no dyes or perfumes, so it's gentle on her skin.
If it's gotta be clean, it's gotta be Tide Free and Gentle. This back-to-school season, Tide and Downy are giving back with $1.5 million in scholarships. Enter to win. No purchase necessary. US/DC 17+. End September 30th. Rules. Tide.com/scholarship/official rules.
Hey folks, you know Randy Marion Ford Lincoln in Statesville is known for the prices and selection, but I tell you what, you may not have known the distinction that this store received with Ford and Lincoln this year. We received the President's Award for 2023 for Ford for the 5th year in a row. We also received it for Lincoln for the first year, and I tell you, those awards don't come easily. It all boils down to taking care of the customers and having the vehicles you want in stock for you to buy.
Bob McIntosh here with the McIntosh Law Firm in Davidson. Serving this community has been a collective passion of our law firm since 1997. We offer the quality legal services and results you would expect from a large downtown firm, but with a personal, community-focused approach right here at home. The McIntosh Law Firm, your local legal resource.
To learn more about the McIntosh Law Firm, visit McIntoshLawFirm.com.
The feeling of awe. You know, when you walk through the door on a hot summer day and the cold air hits you. Ah. Folks around Charlotte have been feeling that for over 40 years, all thanks to Horn Heating and Air Conditioning. HornHVAC.com.
Are you in constant pain, under constant stress? Just need a moment away? Repeat after me. Serenity Now Massage Therapy. SerenityNowMassageAndWellness.com, with locations in Mooresville and Cornelius.
This is a Bloomberg Money Minute. McDonald's posting its first sales decline since 2020 during the height of the pandemic as lower-earning diners pulled back their spending on fast food. But that decline in sales, not as bad as feared, and McDonald's, after extending that $5 meal deal, is now thinking of even more promotions to boost sales. That's got shares of the chain up 4%. While elsewhere on Wall Street, stocks have been a little up, a little down all session long, looking for direction as investors look ahead to a busy week for tech earnings, a Fed meeting on interest rates, and the July jobs report on Friday. Right now, the Dow is down a small fraction, the Nasdaq and the S&P up a small fraction. Apple's next planned iOS 18 software update in September will not include artificial intelligence technology. The company needs more time to work out some kinks. And Chipotle, partnering with the makeup company Wonder Skin on its first ever beauty product. It's called Lipotle, a guacamole-based lip gloss. Tom Busby, Bloomberg Radio.
It's Today's Real Talk with Claudia Ogrizik and Justin Kazepis on 105.9 100.7 WSIC. Local starts here.
Today's Real Talk, the show focused on North Carolina real estate. Justin Kazepis, Claudia Ogrizik of Compass Real Estate. More or less, she's already locked in her answer. That segment coming up at the end of the show.
I'm throwing out there, I'm manifesting that it's going to be more than 1,500.
More than last week is really what it is. Yes. That is active and coming soon on the market via Canopy MLS. The local MLS, 500,000 less by county, looking at Mecklenburg County first. Hoping to hit 1,500 active and coming soon units in a county with a population of 1.1 million. Absolutely love that. Robert Keller joining us. That low of inventory number, because I imagine you see a lot of numbers in your day.
Mm-hmm.
You hear that number of 1,500 active and coming soon. How does that make? Does that factor into your brain in just like a random hypothetical scenario, like right now at all? Just the way your brain probably works, it can map out equations and things.
I'm going to say, 1501.
Okay. Just moving the needle forward.
No, but I swear, I thought 1501 is the number I want to hear. That's so funny.
I'm benchmarking off a professional in her field and just, going one more.
And by the way, just one thing, talk about, I don't know if I told you, he is my client.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, okay.
Did you know that? No, I didn't tell you. Yeah.
You don't
he's my
tell me anything. I
client.
just sit in this room all day and you show up once a week and
No,
that's pretty
he
much
is-
it.
he's-
That's
I
it.
sold their house and I helped them buy a house.
Oh, so this is like a testimonial. You can tell the truth. Turn Claudia's mic off for a second.
Give me.
How was it working with her as a client?
Phenomenal. So it was absolutely phenomenal. So she was not my first choice up front. My wife was like, all right, I've seen, how she talks about things. She gave me a few little tips that didn't cost anything to basically, drive the sale price up. And then the way she communicates like I do, 24/7, instantaneous. She cares. She's ethical. Both, transactions were seamless. I mean, the house that we're in now, it's gone up quite substantially since we bought it 3 years ago.
Great
And it was the perfect house for us. But yeah, it was a great experience. We'll use her indefinitely going forward.
Wow.
Fortunately, unfortunately, we probably
You're going to
won't be
stay there for a long. It's an amazing house.
At 1.75%.
And their interest rate. Don't tell that. He has the record of lowest interest rate ever, I think, in the world. It's 1.7.
1.75 on a 30-year.
I remember when they were closing, I'm like, I think I am upset.
I get that a lot.
Too good.
So it's interesting, a real life example, right, of your own, and seeking out that moment and the timing of everything, and then how that affects kind of the projection for the future, right? I think inventory, the lower number, right, riding it longer for the interest rate, all that kind of stuff. Yeah. So in risk profiles right now, post-COVID world, we'll say, how much has the equation adjusted for you given the way the markets are now? Or is it still business as usual?
In terms of real estate?
In general, all over the place, real estate and non-real estate.
So basically, I mean, you're going to have to be, with real estate. So if there's a piece of property that you love, right, that's high quality, if you have the proper time horizon, assets typically appreciate. That doesn't mean in the interim that, values can't go down and adjust. But if you hold high quality assets that produce income, that appreciate. It's just like, if you buy Exxon, for example, Exxon kicks off income and they're dominant in the energy space. Sometimes it can go down in value, like in 2020 when oil went negative for that period of time, right? So the trick is, from my vantage point, I look at investments as a tool or as a resource to ensure that one, your financial planning goals are one, reachable and two, maintainable. And to do that, you need to own a ton of different assets. Real estate being one of those assets, right? It has a very good track record of appreciation and also kicking off income. You also need stocks and bonds and all these other type of boring investments that, have proven to grow and diversify, because sometimes real estate goes down in value and fixed income appreciates, or stock markets go down and a hedge fund outperforms. And so the idea around diversification, it's really a foundational component, and it ties directly to your financial plan. And diversification across asset classes, real estate being one of those, has proven over time to mitigate risk and also allow you to participate in up markets.
And I think, and tell me if you agree with me, because for me, it's the same thing, real estate, bonds, stock market. You cannot... it's the long-term investment, because they will eventually come down and then they come up, and then the long-term they go up. So anyone ready to invest and thinking about investing has to think about the long-term and don't get desperate if something goes down.
Yeah.
Same thing. I tell my clients who would like to invest, I'm like, stop watching the TikTok.
Exactly.
You make $1 million in 2 weeks flipping a house.
Yeah.
Go the safe route, steady, slowly, and for the long-term gains.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, for me as a financial planner, more predictable outcomes, tighter range-bound outcomes usually is the right answer for me, because it provides peace of mind for the client. It allows me, if I know Claudia or Justin's worst case from a financial planning perspective, and I know every more favorable case, it allows me to remove emotion from managing assets for clients, right? It allows me to be more strategic, or think about structure, or think about undervalued, aspects of the market, whether it's real estate or private credit or whatever the case may be. All of these things matter. And that's why financial planning for me is so important, because one, it allows me to handle the day-to-day volatility of asset classes. Two, it provides a roadmap. If you follow this, here's what the outcomes are going to be. Here's the worst case outcome, and here's the best case outcome.
I have a question.
Yes.
So you say, but let's say I'm your client, we have a plan. Do I have to manage and move things around? You take
No.
care of that for me.
We do everything. So
Okay.
with our clients, we try to do as much as possible for the people that we work with. And it's not just individuals. We work with institutions, businesses, family dynamics, legacy planning across generations is a lot of what we do. But you don't have to do anything. Basically, the financial plan is going to be adjusted at least annually or anytime you want or as life dictates. The investments, I select managers. I allow the managers to manage. I police the managers and make sure you're diversified across public and private markets and make sure investments are as tax efficient as possible. We wrap it, around estate planning. Philanthropy's big in my world. Doing good, in the world. And there's some tax strategies that can allow people to be philanthropic with investment assets and hedge taxes.
I love that because I love the idea.
Exactly. I
Okay,
mean, that's
so
what
you're
makes
helping and you're making money
exactly
at the same time.
Yep, exactly.
Win-win.
That's
Okay.
why I do what I do.
When it comes to diversity in the market and this day and age with technology, like you said, access to information, I imagine the products game has kind of changed too, or there's more and more and more and more and more and more.
Yeah.
How do you stay apprised of all of those different options? I mean, obviously
That's a great question. It can be overwhelming. So the first thing that we do is we lean on our firm. So Merrill, if not the biggest spender on due diligence, meaning understanding investment managers that we're able to utilize for clients, if not the biggest, they're top 2 or 3, right? And so basically what they do is they spend a ton of time vetting investment managers based on organizational structure and performance. So the first thing I do, because we have an open architecture platform, meaning there's nothing proprietary through Merrill except our research, so they don't tell us who to use. So I can use, JP Morgan's growth manager, I can use Putnam's value manager, so I can cherry pick. And so leaning on the firm and the resources that the firm provides is paramount in terms of helping me navigate that.
Now, who can be your client? Let's say someone is watching right now. They're like, okay, I think it's time. So who's your client?
Anybody that wants to hire a personal chief financial officer,
Okay.
my team is their chief financial officer suite. We want people that understand planning, or if you don't have to understand planning, but you have to be willing to go through the planning process. If they want people that are going to do your banking, do your lending, do your estate planning, do your financial planning, educate your kids, walk you through the estate planning process, the philanthropy process, and want to walk through life with you, we want to be the last advisory group that people work with.
Okay, so basically anyone who's ready to
Exactly. Yeah.
follow the path of
Yeah. Because
can
whether you have $10
contact
million
you.
or
Okay.
whether you have $250,000,
Okay.
I put the same importance on it from my vantage point because it's that important to the individual or to the family. And the moment we deviate from that mindset, then we stop growing.
Could you provide us the brief synopsis? Because, of course, with radio, I'm giving you 1 minute to do this.
Perfect.
How did you land where you've landed now? Like, what's been your journey?
Okay. Yeah, we'll keep this quick. I wanted to be a stockbroker when I was in high school because I thought they made a lot of money and I was good with numbers. Okay. Then I joined the military and got my first corporate job at 30 post-military and post-grad school. And I worked with Wells Fargo in their 401k retention department. So people would, get separated from service for whatever reason, and they call into a call center. I try to retain the assets and pass them to advisors. I learned very quickly that I could really have a tangible effect in terms of stopping people from making negative decisions or rash emotional decisions. Then I wanted to be a financial planner. And then, after 12 or 13 years of, undergrad, grad school, and multiple credentials, I have finally got to the point where I could do it pretty effectively. But now it's really walking through life with people and providing peace of mind and clarity.
All right, Robert Keller with the Backed by Merrill
Really
Lynch.
awesome.
Claudia Griesing of Compass Real Estate. More or less, she's already locked in her answer, and you can't change it. I'm sorry.
Stay with us. Today's Real Talk with Claudia Ogrizik and Justin Kazepis will be back after these messages on 105.9, 100.7 WSIC.
Well, here comes a new week, and here come the chances for rain making their way back to the Lake Norman area, too. We'll see a mostly cloudy sky. Carry the rain gear with you for your Monday. On and off rain throughout the day. Some of it could be heavy, and we'll keep an eye out for some localized flash flooding once again. High temperatures in the low 80s will drop back down into the low 70s overnight with a mostly cloudy sky, and we'll run that chance for scattered showers and storms each afternoon this week. That's your forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
Here's your WSIC community calendar. Burkdale Village in Huntersville welcomes back Dave Scott Crow and his Amusination Academy performance on Thursday, August 1st. Dave's concert and Pick Me Up open mic are events for the kids and the entire family. The show begins at 4:30 p.m. on the green. Parents, grandparents, and kids of all ages are welcome on Thursday afternoon at Burkdale Village for Dave Scott Crow's Amusination Academy. Langtree Live in Mooresville continues their free concert series on Thursday, August 1st. Langtree Lake Norman is open for eats and drinks all afternoon, with Bad Romeo taking the stage at 7 p.m. From AC/DC to Whitesnake, Bad Romeo will bring back your 80s rock memories. Grab your lawn chairs, arrive early to get your favorite spot, and enjoy Langtree before, during, and after the show. We'll see you in Mooresville Thursday night for the Bad Romeo concert at Langtree Lake Norman. Friday night, Burkdale Village hosts Live Under the Oaks in Huntersville. String Theory presents a free concert from 6 to 8. Burkdale restaurants are open for dinner, while Red Rocks will serve beverages on-site at the concert. Come on out Friday night for the String Theory concert at Burkdale Village. The Cookout Monster Truck Bash is at the dirt track at Charlotte Motor Speedway on Saturday, August 17th. Sparks will fly as the metal-bashing 2,000 horsepower machines return for a night of high-flying action on the planet's most diabolical outdoor course. Gates open at 4 p.m. Bring a Cookout Cup for free early access to the pit party beginning at 3:30. Pit party includes monster truck rides, inflatable slides, bounce houses, face painting, an autograph session, and souvenirs. Opening ceremonies will begin at 7. Visit CharlotteMotorspeedway.com or the CMS app for information and details. To keep up with all the events happening around the community and much more, including amazing local deals, download the WSIC News app today.
Today's Real Talk continues now. Here are your hosts, Claudia Ogrizik and Justin Kazepis on 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
Today's Real Talk, the show focused on North Carolina real estate. Justin Kazepis, Claudia Ogrizik of Compass Real Estate. We've made it to the last segment.
I know.
And you know what that requires of us.
Yes.
More or less.
More or less.
Joe, cue the music. All right, Claudia. This week on More or Less, 500,000 or less to be exact, by county, active and coming soon in the local MLS, Canopy MLS. More or less than last week, which last week was 1,475. And 75.
Yes.
Your response for this week?
It was more, and I was thinking 1501, which was what he said.
That's
so
the number.
That's
the number?
Yes.
All right, Claudia.
Final answer.
More this week than last week. 500,000 less active and coming soon in the local MLS by county, starting with Mecklenburg. Than last week. You are correct.
Yay!
For the first time in like 3 weeks.
I know.
Right. Good job.
Better
nice
late than
job.
never.
High five.
And the thing is, I'm not gonna lie that many times I'm like, should I look so I know but I can't.
Now, as
I'm
far
a
as
rule
this
follower.
1501
Like
thing,
I don't want to do it.
As far as this 1501 thing, it was 1,498. So close.
Almost there. I know
But we
why.
haven't
I
breached
had 3
1,500.
closings, so it was 1501, but I had 3
You
closings
took them
last
off the
week. I
market.
took them off the
That's
market.
right. So technically, I was right.
Yes, you were right.
So the pendulum is swinging. Does 1498 alleviate the market? We're back to a
Of
normalized
course not.
market. now.
Of course, you know that's not the. Actually, I think we talked about. I wish I knew the number that makes it the balanced market. 6 months of inventory, like what 5,000, 10,000 houses. I don't even know. I do not know.
I don't even know if we
It's
truly.
a question for you. You
No
have to
clue.
figure it out.
That's a
You're gonna
bu-
help us figure out how many houses would mean being on a fair, balanced seller and buyer market.
Oops, well, my
6
phone
months.
just
We have less than 1 month inventory right now.
We do, but even with 6 months, like we talked about, when I started real estate in 2012, it was at the time frame of the average time on the market was like 90-something days.
Wow.
Unheard of, and for years now, for years. So I don't know if trying to make what was is what will be, if that makes sense. I don't think the market of the past is the same because for whatever reason, it became North Carolina's time to be one of those markets that people are intentionally trying to come to more than most. We looked at last week, a group called Resi Club put out some data, Robert, and they said 13 out of the top 50 markets of growth in sales price they're seeing on average since 2022. 13 out of 50 nationally are all in North Carolina.
That's crazy.
And so it doesn't seem like it's going to slow down, at least for now. Now, that could always change depending on a leadership decision or a world event.
I'm assuming that's here and then RTP.
Actually, Charlotte was on this. Raleigh was. I don't think Raleigh was on the list,
Really?
to be honest with you. It was. We're starting to get to the Goldsboros of the world, the Hendersonvilles of the world. You know what I mean? Like, we're talking about the rural towns of North Carolina now. Just continue to see some of the highest percentage growth in the country right now,
including Salisbury.
including the cheerwine
circle.
capital
Yes.
of the world.
Yes.
Is
you
where
buy
it's
a house
happening
and
at.
you get a 6-pack of
Cheerwine.
Did I say I've never tried it?
No, I can go grab you one right now if you want.
It's a soda, right? I'm not a soda.
It's actually a coffee.
You
It's
might be
coming.
allergic to it. It has sugar.
I know. I'll do it. I'll do it live. I've never been to Bojangles.
What?
No, I'm not a fan of like deep fried. So I've never. So I guess I need cheer
She's
wine,
a purist. She's a purist.
cheer wine,
Yeah.
and
No carbs, no
Bojangles.
sugar,
That's
no
right.
fried foods.
Look, it's coming.
There it
Oh
is.
my God,
If you
do I
would
have
like
to?
this is probably
Let's
from
do
Mamie
it.
right here.
Just
Mamie
I said,
and
yeah, I
Joe
know she
grabbed
likes
you
it.
one. This is
Oh my God,
Mamie's
it's
drink right here.
crazy
Let's
that
see.
at 50 years old, I'm going to try cheer
Wow.
wine.
First time here.
Yes, I'm going to try it. I hope I don't make a face. Let me smell it first.
Do you like cherry?
No. Oh, it's cherry? Oh, I'm not going to like it.
How was that? It's like,
I don't like
Oh.
All right, first
Somebody
and
bring her a
last.
Bojangles biscuit.
so we won't
Maybe.
be tagging cheerwine on this video.
Sorry.
Okay?
Sorry, guys. I don't like soda. I'm not complaining about cheer wine. I don't like soda. So I don't drink soda. So it's not cheer wine. I don't like any soda.
Are you pure water? Is that why? Or are you just a pure?
I like water, coffee, tea, juice. Some, not many, but I like very cold water.
Okay,
I
Shonda-
actually like Kevin's water because he puts the right amount of ice, and then I take it from him, and he complains. But I'm like, you know how to do it.
What else is marriage for? All
I
right,
know.
taking a guess at it then is not having soda in your fridge so you don't stain your carpet part of Maintenance Monday for you today, or no? Is that
Not really.
Okay.
Today we're going to talk because we love talking about the crawl space and that you should go. So now let's go the opposite way. Check your attic every now and then.
Oh.
Many times you have no idea that you have leaks from the roof and you're destroying your attic. You might have, how to say it? I don't know, critters.
That's a word. That's a real word.
So you might have squirrels, mice, birds, bats
Possums?
that are, yes, exactly. And you're not aware of it because you'd never go and check your attic. And not only that, your furnace and your HVAC equipment, you can see if there's any leak or any problem by going to. So visit your attic every now and then.
You know what else is a favorite? One of my favorite games to play in the attic?
No.
How many Christmas lights do you have? Because, that's where you put them in the bin and you
Of
shove
course.
it up in the attic
Yes.
until the next year, right?
I
It's
know,
either
I
that or
know.
the garage or the
I
crawl
have
space,
clients
so.
now that many look for houses with easier storage for that.
Yeah.
But yes, many people do keep suitcases and Christmas decor.
Those memories.
Yes.
That'll last forever.
Everything is in the attic.
That's right.
Or every holiday decoration like
Yes.
my wife does.
Yeah,
So I
there
go
you
in
go.
there
See?
6 to 8 times a year and have to
See?
dig through things. And I'm like, we need a storage unit for this.
I do have, we created like a second story lift kind of thing in our garage. And then you have like 4th of July, fall.
Oh, hers are labeled. I'm
Easter.
sure the bins
They,
are.
of course they are labeled. Are you serious?
No dust. Everything's pure.
Of course. Am I that obvious?
No, it's okay. It's because you care. And so part of being a professional is caring in the transaction. This week, what you got going on this week? Anything fun, anything exciting? You always have some kind of story ready, some type of agenda item to service your client. What's going on?
I can't, honestly, it's going to be a crazy, busy, insane week. So right now I can't answer because I know there's so much that I'm not ready to give you any answer because I know it's too much. And as soon as I leave the radio show, I have 50 emails waiting for me to kind of get everything going.
Is it the back to school market right now? The typical back to school
I
market
wouldn't
we're
say
seeing
so, no.
coming back to fall? What's different about this year? What's it feeling like for you?
For now, my clients
Sure.
are just relocating, people coming from different countries, different states, and then just people trying to actually. I have a few clients that are pregnant right now, so they want a larger house before the babies come, and I have a few of those, which is pretty cute. They had their mini baby. There's a baby boom. I don't know what happened a few months ago, but I just know it's a baby boom going on.
Okay, so Robert, whatever market that affects, what baby
Yes,
that affected
now
the
it's
market.
time the families
That's the trickle
start
down.
preparing for.
Yeah, you
right?
have to prepare.
Yes.
College
Wealth
education plan.
management.
529's the moment you get your social security
Yes,
number.
right?
All those
Yeah.
good things.
There's a lot of options out there, Robert. Someone's starting out, let's say, right? You're working with the ultra high net worth, right? That spectrum. Let's talk about for a moment the person who's just starting out. What would you recommend? How is a way that someone, let's say, with maybe not the largest checkbook in the world, but can at least wants to make a difference, wants to start?
Great question. And you'd be surprised. The earlier you start thinking about financial planning, the more small changes really have a compounding positive impact long term. You know, starting out, it's going to be first off budgeting, right? Which has a nasty connotation for some people, but understanding, you know, what you spend, where your paycheck goes, and those types of things. The low hanging fruit is obviously if your employer offers a 401k plan, make sure you're putting money into that plan, at least up to what they match. So if your company matches 100% up to 6, put 6%, you're saving 12% of your gross income into a retirement vehicle that then has investment options that are compound nicely with time. That's the low-hanging fruit. You know, education planning, people don't understand that healthcare and education inflate the most in our economy. So if you have to actually look at what college costs now and try to project that out for a newborn 18 years, it is a bit of sticker shock. So putting a plan in place to make sure if you want to pay for your kids' college, the sooner you start, the better off you'll be.
What's the estimate now? Like $1 million a semester? What's like 18
Well,
years
I mean,
out? What are we
you
at?
you take like an in-state public university. I went to East Carolina University. My wife went to University of North Carolina at Charlotte. You know, it's about $23,400 all in to go to one of those institutions. You inflate that at 4 to 6% a year over an 18-year period of time. That turns into an astronomical sum.
You almost have to invest just to keep up with it in the marketplace.
That's
there,
the
my
only
gosh.
way too. I mean, and there's usually a few reasons that people invest, and it's to combat inflation, taxes, life expectancy, healthcare, education costs, those types of things. So just starting, you don't have to be overwhelmed. Engage a professional that you feel does things the right way. And when you're talking to an advisor, you know, what we do is public record. You could always go to FINRA broker check and kind of do your homework on advisors. You know, there's reviews. There's a plethora of different companies that you could, you know, talk to and vet. Find someone that you feel is going to do things the right way, has a clean record, has credentials, is transparent, and put your best interest ahead of their own.
See, the thing I always say, the right agent mattered. The same thing with you, the right financial planner matters. And one thing for people that are thinking, preparing the budget thing, even if you don't have the money and maybe will take forever to get to a point, check what you're doing with your money. I always say learn. The first thing I tell people, and I'm not a financial advisor, but it's like learn the difference between I want and I need it.
That's exactly right.
Right? Because then you're not wasting money. And then maybe one day you get to the point of investing and thinking long-term retirement, kids, and everything else.
And not putting, and to your point, you know, not putting yourself behind the 8 ball in terms of debt, right?
Yes.
You know, there's good debt and there's bad debt. Credit card debt right now is going to cost you anywhere between 20 and 27% if you carry a balance on that. That is bad debt, right? You know, real estate debt is good debt usually,
Good debt,
right?
yes.
So understanding where your money goes, you know, what avenues can you get the most bang for your buck in terms of putting money away, you know, for longer term. Also short term. Now with interest rates being as high as they are, which they're the highest since 2006, you know, you have things like money markets and CDs that pay, you know, 5% for a year. And that obviously changes, you know, all the time as treasury yields and rates bounce around. But there is conservative options if you're risk averse that can at least pay you something respectable. So understanding.
Awesome. Learning, understanding, getting educated. Right?
Perfect.
It's what goes on here every single week on today's Real Talk.
Every
here.
Monday.
Claudia Ogrizik of Compass Real Estate. Justin Gazepis. Robert, thank you for joining us.
Yeah, my pleasure. Thank you both.
Thank you.
Serving you better than ever.